There you go. All right. So that was a good idea. I am now recording from the computer, and I'll just make a, a video of this. Is that recording? Yes, it is recording.
Yeah, you do a video? Because I'm not ready. I'm not set up to record myself right now on video. But if you're doing, if you're fine with that, that's totally cool.
Okay. I didn't want to do anything that was, like against the rules or something,
Oh, no. You can 100% do whatever.
Okay.
And if anything, I like to do a second recording on a different day if you want. Let's get through this one, and this will just be our fun intro.
Sure.
And I'd love to do a second one and definitely do video. And I can record me, you record you, and then if this audio system we're coming up with works, at least that part's done.
Sure.
And that'd be great if you could share the video. Because when I go to Spotify will show the video on Spotify, which is really neat. So that's how I watch Joe Rogan all the time, is on Spotify. So, cool.
So I'm prepared to do whatever you want to do today. I have nothing until 1:30. So.
Same. I'm probably good right around then.
Okay.
Okay, so look, I'm going to step away a little bit. So if I sound far away from you, I kind of am.
Okay.
As long as you can hear me.
Yeah.
That way the microphone stays close to the phone.
Sure.
Good Lord, the microphone on the iPhones are ridiculous, man. My wife could be, I don't know, washing a dish, and it sounds like she's on the Niagara Falls.
I know. All my video now for customers is done with the iPhone.
I believe it.
Yep. It's crazy.
All right, let me get us in here. All right, you guys, welcome back to the Visual Historian. We just had a weekend. Today is Monday. Wonderful weekend. On Friday, I got the opportunity to be the second photographer for a wedding that my buddy called me on, and that wound up being super crazy creative, which was fun for me. I got to not be the lead and kind of relax and hang back and get all those cool candid sniper shots. And I created some absolute bomb images, and he was happy. So that's all I care about, man. Shout out to my buddy Titus. He's the man. He's one of my best friends in the industry. And whenever we work a wedding together, it's like the dream team, dude. We're hysterical. We get it done, and we create really cool stuff. Saturday, I had my own wedding. Miss Emily and Taylor were absolutely so much fun to work with. Their friends and family over at Rosie's was a blast, and I've got some great images from them to share. So before I go any further, I have the privilege of talking to another really good buddy of mine from way back when, Mr. Kirk Voclain, and he is an absolute master all across the board. He's a master in photography, like literally, but he's a gem of a person. He's a Cajun coon ass from down the bayou, and he's the nicest guy you ever want to hang with. So I just want to introduce to you Mr. Kirk Voclain. How you doing, buddy?
I'm good. What an introduction. I can't hardly stand it, man. Goodness. Thank you.
I figured I'd put you on the ledge so high that you have to at least just jump.
Yeah, at least. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Oh,
man. So you and I haven't really hung together in a while just because we both got busy. You became a grandparent. I was raising kids.
Yep.
I kind of stepped away from PPA for a while.
Yep.
Well, I'm still away, actually. But life just takes you in different directions.
Yeah, and whether people believe it or not, me and you, we're 50 miles away from each other, but that's like an eternity in South Louisiana for some reason.
It is. My parents live across the Causeway Bridge, and I swear it's like an act of Congress to go see them.
Yeah, I know.
It's only a 45-minute drive. For most people, that's just going to get a thing of look at the store. But for us, it's just not like that.
Yep, I agree.
So besides photography, which I've been following you, by the way, you want to throw out your socials real quick so people can go check you out and make sure that you're a real human?
Absolutely. My photography website is KV, like Kirk Voclain, kvphoto.com. All of my socials, basically, you can search my name. Kirk, K-I-R-K, Voclain, V-O-C-L-A-I-N, and you'll find me. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn,
All the places.
Yeah, see all of the above, you know, and I kept it consistent like that so as to make life simple and it's easy to find. So, yeah.
Agreed. Agreed. I know. I gotta be careful. I can't cut anybody off on the road when I'm driving because my logo is on there. And I'm like you. After 31 years, I'm extremely easy to find anywhere online.
Yep. Yep.
So I gotta be the nice guy when I'm not there, you know. So hey, a little birdie told me you're now an author.
Yes, go figure. So, I mean, I have literally been fascinated with the concept of writing for way longer than most people know. It ain't something I stand on a platform and say, hey, I'd like to write a book. You know, it's just not something I've ever done. I mean, I'm a photographer, photographer. You're not a writer. The current joke right now, GK, is I do for a living what most people call a hobby. And now I do for a hobby writing what most people call a living. So that's
true.
Yeah. So yeah, I've always been fascinated with it. I remember me and you jumped on an airplane and went somewhere one time for something. I think it was a convention or something, but it was me and you.
Oh yeah.
And so
we used to do Light Pro and all that.
Yeah, it was even way back then that I was constantly, watching things that happen, for example, at an airport, watching how the people flow, and I've just always imagined that a spy whose cover was that he was a professional photographer would be able to just blend in. It would be like the perfect cover. And so, dude, yeah, that's what my book is about.
Dude, that is so funny. I mean, I'm saying that's so funny because that's 100% my life.
I know.
And it really is. Like when I am working, I do a lot of commercial events too. So I'm the fly on the wall that they're paying to be there for this seminar.
So you're invisible, right?
Yeah, this large medical company. Like I got to hear about this 0.92 ABCVDJOE, which they eventually passed through the whole, medical world. Then when it becomes a commercial, then they put a name on it so it's marketable. So I'm getting inside information, and it's like I walk out of there going, what the hell just happened?
Yeah.
I got to see Ford Motor Company release their electric vehicle they were talking about.
Yeah.
2 years before it was actually released.
Yeah.
And how many times do you and I as photographers have VIP passes?
Oh, look.
Literally, we can go wherever we want.
GK, correct me if I'm wrong. Me and you did not set this up, but I'm going to tell you what has happened to you, okay? You walk up to an event, security guards, big dudes, right? And you start to walk in because, you're supposed to be there. They stop you. Can I help you? This is a secure location. And you say, well, I'm the photographer. And they say, oh, come on in.
Yeah, you got your press pass, you got your credentials.
It's amazing to me. It's amazing. I saw it happen just recently at the convention center. I was there for, an event, not because I was the photographer. And, it's this big secure thing. They're not letting nobody in. It's just blah, blah, blah. And this guy with 3-4 cameras hanging off of his neck, he walks up to the front of the line. Big dude stops him. He says, I'm the photographer. He said, oh, come on in. He could have got in for free. It's the craziest thing that you get to be invisible when you're the photographer.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The funny thing is, you're writing this book, but you know me, I wear fedoras all the time. Like I probably look like the character you're writing about. Fedora on. I walk in. I'm dressed. Everything is black because we're in New Orleans. It's sweaty, and I'm just a all black wearing kind of guy. But I got the harness on with the 2 cameras hanging, just like you're saying. And I know people when I'm down there. I keep seeing the same people working these events. So we're on that head nod basis. What's up? How you doing, man? Yeah, I'm back for another one. They in the back to the left in the back door? No, sir. They're in the secret door to the back to the right. Go down 2 aisles and then do the secret knock and you'll get on in.
Yeah.
You got a pass, you're good.
It's amazing to me. So yeah, that, obviously that happens in the book, and it's it was just so much fun to write because, I mean, while I am not a spy, or am I? No, I'm just kidding. I'm not a spy. I mean, I cannot tell you how many times that things like that has happened to me, and I thought, I could write a book about this. Well, now I have.
Oh, dude. Man, I could be like an inside trader if I knew how to trade. I mean, it's a shame. I'm robbing myself of millions of dollars, I'm sure. As we're struggling to pay bills, month to month right now, which is hysterical. But I know you don't want to give the entire book away, but what is the plot? Like, every spy has a purpose,
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it just sort of picks up, the main character's name is Reed Sawyer, which, by the way, my grandson is named Reed Sawyer Goche, so that's where that comes from. Just a big shout out to the grandbaby. But yeah, it starts out with Reed Sawyer's he's going on a basic assignment in Vienna. He's at the New Orleans airport, and he catches sight of something ain't right. There's just a guy who seems like he's out of place, like he's watching him. And so, basically that's how it kind of starts. And the assignment he's on, it's real simple, it's real basic. He's got to go to Vienna, he's got to photograph Secretary Kessler, just do a standard boring business headshot on a Denny blue background, okay? And while while he's photographing him, he's got to pass him a code, a secret code. And that secret code, it needs to be passed on. It can't be sent through, electronically. You can't text him. You can't phone call him. Yeah, it's got to be hand-to-hand pass-off. And the perfect way to do it is during a photo shoot. So it's, secure, and it's just... And so that's basically how the whole concept starts. And he's on the airplane going to Vienna when he realizes, something's wrong. Okay, something ain't right. That he feels like he's being set up. That this could be like something bad, and that's kind of where the story goes, and that's how it starts. And it goes. They go to Vienna. There's a sync. SYNC convention in the book. Okay, it ain't PPA. It's PPI. Look. Oh well, you can't see. You can't see, but I'm showing it to the camera. There's a PPI in the book, okay? And it's funny because PPI is not on the surface, it's Professional Photographers International, okay? That's their front. But secretly, they're the Private Protection Initiative, and that's their covert, They're really a spy agency. And so Reed is one of their agents. And so, I use all this stuff. There's people in the book that, things like, like his name, the main bad guy, his name, let's see if you can figure it out. His name is Barry Cox. And he's from Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Gary would love that.
Yeah. Well, Gary got a pre-release, right? So he read it and he approved it. Yeah. Sure. There's not Keith Branch in the book. There's Keith Cranch. Okay. There's not Marty Hines. There's Marty Grinds. And this is throughout the book. Okay. If you know anything about the photography industry, it's all over the place. And Sync is a major convention. That's where a lot of the spy stuff happens, and they're trying to get the bad guy, and it was so fun to write. And it's like lots of my own personal experiences. Like, for example, I think I love to play golf, right? And one of the coolest golf courses I ever been to is in Cabo. And the way the golf course is set up, every 3 holes, there's a comfort station. They call it a comfort station. You do 3 holes and you swing back to the comfort station. And at the comfort station, there's like drinks and there's, you know, tortillas and tacos and that kind of stuff. Well, then after you eat a little bit, you go play 3 more holes and then you end up right back at the same comfort station. So from a spy angle, I thought this is the perfect spot for 4 guys to sit and have a long conversation face to face. Nobody's going to question it. They think they're playing golf, but they're sitting in the comfort station for 4 hours, hashing out problems, you see? So it's things like that. It's all experiences, places, things that I've done. And people over and over who've read the book, they go, Kirk, is this about your life? I'm like, it's not about my life, but it's about so many things that I have experienced that's, you know, real. So,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Dude, so when you do the spin-off on the second version of the book,
Mm-hmm.
you know, the next lineup in your series.
Yes.
We'll get together and do a couple of lunches, and I'll share my notes, and
Perfect.
we'll create a fedora character.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
More devious.
You could be Marcus. I already got the second book started. Like I told you, the good guy is Reed Sawyer. The bad guy is Barry Cox. But my experience tells me, no matter how evil someone is, no matter how bad someone acts, from their perspective, it's good. From their perspective, you might be the bad guy and they're the good guy. So that's what the second book, it's just going to be a little novella. It's just going to be like a supplement. It's going to flip-flop everything, and Barry Cox is now suddenly going to be the good guy, and Reed Sawyer is going to be the bad guy. So,
nice.
Yeah.
You know, it wouldn't be that far off from Gary to eventually find a heart.
That's terrible. That's terrible.
Yeah, I love Gary to death, man.
Me too.
He's a gem and a half, man. But if you don't know Gary off the bat, like it was the first time you met the dude, maybe playing golf. You know, the way his demeanor is, you kind of on guard with him. Like, who is this character? You know, like maybe I'll figure him out by hole 10. I don't know. And then by the end of the golf course, your best friends exchanging, you know, your phone numbers. So that's just Gary and his lovely wife Pam. She's so sweet, so sweet. So how are you? So photography wise, what have you been doing lately?
I do a lot of commercial. It's funny. I kind of pattern. Believe it or not, you just don't know this. A lot of my footsteps based on some of the things you did. I know you do a lot of weddings, but I also know you do a lot of, you know, commercial food and corporate events and things like that. And so I just thought to myself that, you know, the portrait world is not nearly as big of a deal as it used to be. It used to be what we did in the portrait world was like magic, you know, and there's a chemical reaction that happens in your brain when you see a picture of yourself. Well, people take selfies every day, and so so I go take pictures out of studio, and the pictures look, you know, like me. So what? You know, it's just not as magical. So for that reason, it's not as profitable. Okay, and so I reasoned to myself one day as I could see portrait sales slowly declining. They're not gone, mind you, but they just decline. And I thought to myself, if someone came to me and said, Kirk, give me $100 and I'm going to turn it into $200, would you say no? No. Every business on the planet would say, okay, here's $100. Hey, the smart business people would say, can I give you 1,000? Right? That's what the smart people would say. Okay. So that's what I decided to focus on, if you will, is in the commercial world, focus on people that need photography so as to make their product look better, and then they make more money. Now, that could be oil field, that could be real estate photography, you know, that can be food photography, that could be corporate events. I mean, it could literally be anything in the business world. Well, that's what I started focusing on, and it's been gold. You know, it's been incredible. So that's what I'm doing these days.
Agreed.
You don't see it in back here. Oh, that's right. I keep forgetting me and you are just audio because I'm looking at myself right now on the thing. But you can't see it behind me. But behind me is my little studio that I created behind my house. I sold my big studio because it was, like I said, the portrait world was declining. But I still needed a little studio. I do business headshots, senior portraits, you know, a little food and that kind of stuff here in my little studio.
That's cool.
I bought a van, okay? I put shelves in the van like as if I was a plumber or something. And then on the shelves, I put, you know, camera gear. So everything that I need is literally inside the van except for my primary camera. It's ready to go. I got light stands, I got backgrounds, I've got lights, I've got lenses, I've got, you know, all that kind of stuff. So if someone says, Kirk, can you come do a business headshot session? I got, you know, 10 employees and we want to do business headshots for our website. Boom, I grab the camera, I jump in the van and off I go. The van has Wi-Fi, it's got a computer desk built into the passenger seat. It's got a computer on the desk. I mean, I'm connected, I'm shooting, I'm uploading. I mean, it's just, and it's working great, GK. I ain't gonna lie, it's working phenomenal.
You're sitting here talking, and I'm like taking notes over here. So, no, seriously. So you got the van. What's the note on the van?
Well, I mean, remember, I just sold my studio, so I took the money from.
Like I'm imagining it cheaper to buy the van. You have this note, which is always going to be cheaper than rent somewhere. Plus
Absolutely.
Utilities and all that stuff.
Yes.
You know, it's completely normal. And I'm like you, dude. My main cameras are always on me.
Yes.
They're never hanging out somewhere that I'm at the studio. If somebody robs my studio, all they're going to get is all the bull crap. They're not going to find me good stuff. It's always with me.
Yep.
But I love that idea. Why buy storage when you can just buy the van and it's cheaper?
Yep. And, you know, the van's got a nice locking system, nice alarm system. Because, I mean, honestly, between me, you, and the bedpost, if I was in New Orleans, it would be even more secure. But I'm in Houma, Louisiana. Behind me is a garage. That's what's on the screen if you ever get a chance to see it. And that's where I parked the van. So the van is inside at night. It's locked, and the building is locked, you know? So when I go out on location, it's locked, but everything is there. It's ready to roll. So, you know.
I like that. I am so going to go shopping for vans now when we're done with this. I'm serious. I mean, I know I can buy a van cheaper than what I'm paying in rent.
You might.
That's so cool. Thank you, dude.
Absolutely.
That's amazing. Putting money in my pocket today. Look at that. That is so awesome. Yeah, we definitely need to do lunch. You're not that far away. We just need to put it on.
I mean, I honestly do come to New Orleans fairly regularly. For all kinds of stuff, not just jobs, but I mean, all kinds of stuff. So yeah, let's get up. Yeah. Let's get together.
Yeah, man. And look, talking about the commercial world and how things have changed. You're absolutely right. I'm not doing as many portraits, but I'm doing a crap ton of headshots and group shots. Mm-hmm. And, you know, the retouching has gotten easier on our end via some software that works better. Mm-hmm. You know, you're totally right. So when I was younger, when I first met you, when I was 23, 24, 25 years old, the older gentlemen were always bugging me for not niching down. Like, you want to be known as, you know, the best wedding photographer or kid photographer. And I'm like, yeah, but do you know this ADD creative person you're talking to? I could do just one thing for my rest of my life. It would bore the crap out of me. Yeah. And thank you, Jesus, and I'm not lying. Thank you, Lord. I went to every class, learned from everybody I can think of, from Joe Glada on, you know, the food stuff, to Gary Box, to you with the senior. It's like, you name it, the wedding world. I did everything. So when Katrina happened, when 9/11 happened, I mean, every tragedy you can think of and things go upside down, the blessing for me is that when weddings are down, my commercial world is up. you know, and it just moves. So I love that when the phone rings, I'm versatile. I could do anything. I've never had a phone call I had to say no to. I really haven't. That's been my blessing.
Yeah.
You know, so all the wonderful knowledge and business ethics, direction, and you know what I mean? Like just how to be the best at what we do as an industry was absolute gold and worth every money I paid to go to all those things. Because now it's invaluable. Absolutely invaluable. So where people are running to YouTube, or maybe even my YouTube channel, Focus with GK.
Shameless plug.
You get inspired. You may even get something you could to go do outside and practice on your own. But dude, I keep telling people it's not the same as when you're somewhere for 3 days and you're with this person, this master, and you're doing, you're learning, you're failing. You're doing, you're failing, you're learning. But eventually you go home 10 times better knowledge than the day you showed up.
Absolutely.
You know?
I agree.
And that's only in 3 days, dude. So I can't imagine only learning from online services starting off. Like that would be a slow process for me.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So yeah, dude. Well, I am so interested. So wait a second. So you got to throw out the shameless plug. Where I know you said they're on Amazon now. You can buy the book.
Yes, if you search my name on Amazon, you'll find everything that I've written. But I mean, if you want to go straight to my author's page, it's amazon.com/author/Kirk Voclain. KIRKVOCLAIN.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So is the second book done with stilettos and something?
Yeah, boots and stilettos. It's kind of funny. I'll just give you the short version of that. I mean, a friend of mine, when I was writing Double Exposure, which is the spy novel, she's a photographer. They're from Ohio. We're really good friends. I call them my vacation friends because we go on vacation with them all the time. And she was like, "Oh, what are you doing? What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm writing this book." And she's like, "Oh, you want to write a book? I got a challenge for you." I'm like, "Okay, let's hear it. Write a book, write a love story about an Italian heiress."
Oh, God.
She goes, her name is Antoinette, but they call her Annie, okay? And her last name is Condalucci. I'm like, good. I'm like, wait, hold on, let me take notes, right? And she says, and she goes to Montana and falls in love with a rancher named Jake Spiker, and she's just, the only reason she's there is to learn the business, to introduce it into, you know, her father's, you know, empire. And she, you know, she wears stilettos and she wears, you know, what they call those jogging pants that girls wear these days. And that's how she shows up to work on a ranch, and everybody laughs at her. And I'm like, wait, okay, hold on. I'm gonna write the first chapter. And I mean, as a joke, I sat there and I wrote this first chapter. It's not super long. And I gave it to her and she read it and she goes, "Oh my God." She goes, "This is incredible. When do I get the second chapter?" And I'm like, "Lisa, this is not, come on." And she's like, "No, this is good." I mean, she says, "Now look, I got a catch-22 for the book." I'm like, "Okay, what's the catch-22? It's got to be G-rated." And I'm like, "Okay." She goes, no bedroom scenes, you know, no cursing. I was like, "Okay, a love story, G-rated. Got it." Well, I mean, I just started ticking with it and playing, and next thing you know, I got a love story, and I let different people read it. I let my mama read it. That's the funniest thing. My mama goes, "I wouldn't have put up with that man." And she's 83 years old, and I was like, "Mom, I don't care whether you put up with him or not. Did you read the book?" "Yeah, I read the whole thing, Kirk." And I'm like, "Well, that's the point, you know." So anyway,
Yeah.
right now, I don't know when your listeners actually hit this thing, but one of my short stories, which is called Code in the Grain, is based totally in New Orleans. It's only like 10-15 pages. It's free right now, but it's only going to be free for another 3 or 4 days. And then after that, it's 99 cents. That's kind of a Amazon thing that they do. So you can check that out just to kind of get a feel for my writing style. And
That should be cool.
double exposure, anytime you want, you can click on read a sample, and I think they let you read like 5 or 6 chapters. So this doesn't cost anything to go check out, you know. So
Right. That is so cool. I actually love to write. I haven't done it in a while, but when I do, everybody keeps telling me, "Dude, you need to write more." And I'm like, man, I can't commit. My ADD just won't let me. I mean, if I wrote a book, it would take me. I can see why it takes somebody 3 years. You know.
Yeah.
Or it would take me 3 days. It depends on how into it am I. You know.
yeah.
But,
I can totally relate to that, because like my daughter, she also is in the process of writing a book. But we went to Hawaii this year, the whole family, and I've been to Hawaii 2-3 times. So I've seen, you know, it's kind of one of those been there, done that things. It's pretty and all that kind of stuff. But man, all I wanted to do at that very moment was write my book, and Scarlett was feeling the same way. So there we are, me and Scarlett, side by side, laptops in our lap, waves crashing in the background, in the condo, and what are we doing? We're writing a book. And I did that for a week. And I mean, it's just funny how when you get on a roll, right? It kind of, it just starts to happen. But anyway,
you have to do it. When I'm telling you, when you're emotionally invested, you have to write when you're feeling it.
Yep.
Because I don't know what it is, man. I'll have a great idea in the morning. If I want to write about it that night, I swear it's like a dream, and you can't get back into the dream. You know, I can go to sleep. It's like, oh, wait a second, I was really into it.
Yeah.
Where did I leave off? And it's amazing how quick all that energy comes in you, and it processes. And then if you don't hang on to it, it just kind of withers away.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That is too awesome,
Hey,
man.
I got something for your readers if you're interested. Is your readers, listen to me, your listeners, is the prologue is 1 page long, okay? And it kind of tells the story of how this got started in my mind. All right? You want me to read it?
Sure.
All right, so before I read it, let me just give you the backstory. About 35 years ago, I was on my way to one of those events that you just talked about, one of those classes that you just talked about. And of course, at the class, you was going to be, you know, doing images. So I brought all my stuff, my camera, my tripods, all that stuff, and I'm running it through airport security. And airport security goes nuts. Okay, people start coming out of the woodwork. People start running around. 2-3 guys got around me. Okay, all of a sudden, I'm like, what is going on? The dude behind the counter, he's like, whose bag is this? I'm like, it's mine. He says, I have to look inside. I was like, dude, go right ahead.
Crazy.
Okay, so he starts digging through my bag, and when he pulled out my tripod, GK, what do we call that thing that we put our camera on top of? Huh?
You have the little handgun.
Yes. Yeah, a pistol grip. That's what we call it. So that is what is on top of the hot tripod. He goes nuts. He pulls it out. He looks at me, and he literally goes, "Are you kidding me?" And that's when it hit me. I even said it. I said, "Oh my God, that looks like a gun." And I said, dude, it's not a gun. Keep digging. That's a tripod. This is a camera. This is my setup. So he keeps digging, and he realizes, of course, it's not a gun. Okay. And everything gets put back, and that was the end of the story. All right, that was 35 years ago. That is the moment when I said to myself, this could be a book. Okay. This could, I mean, I could have hidden a gun in there and possibly bypassed security. And I have been writing this in my head now for 35 years, okay? Literally. Writing and rewriting, and oh, I could say this and I could say that. No, that sounds stupid. All right. So with that said, here you go. This is the prologue to Double Exposure. You can sneak a prohibited item through airport security easier than you think. It's not about gadgets or technology. It's about beating people, their instincts, their assumptions, their patterns. Security loves predictability. Beat the rhythm, shift the focus, and you create your own loophole. Confidence is the key. No hesitation, no second looks. They don't screen for contraband, they screen for fear. A confident man with a camera in his hand isn't a threat. He's a professional, a journalist, an artist. The world opens up to people like him. Smile at the agent, crack a joke, let him see what they expect. Another traveler trying to make their gate before the boarding call. But distraction, that's where the magic happens. The shiny advertisement cards are scattered at the entrance of security. Free coffee at gate C13. Simple, enticing. Who wouldn't grab one? The promise of coffee during a morning rush. But no one thinks about the layers in the card stock. No one thinks about the tiny bit of lead embedded between the fibers. A little trick of the trade. When scanned, those cards throw a shadow. Now, 30 passengers are holding the identical card. Some are in carry-ons, others in purses, all going through the checkpoint at the same time. The machine beeps non-stop. Panic sets in and security scrambles to figure out what's going on. It's perfect chaos and perfectly harmless, at least for them. And while they're sorting out the mess, the real magic happens. A disassembled weapon hidden in the layers of a camera bag. Tripods, lenses, filters, cables. Nothing out of the ordinary for a photographer. Not worth a second look. Cameras are the ultimate cover. Expected, familiar, invisible. That's the trick. Disappear in plain sight. Don't hide the act, hide the intent. It's not about the tools, it's about the illusion. And when done right, an illusion becomes reality. There you go, dude.
Dude. Dude, I'm not gonna lie, man. That is some really eloquent writing.
Thank you, man.
For real. The hardest part about writing is, this is what stumbles me the most. The hardest part about writing, I keep telling people, when you text somebody or an email or whatever it is, you have to imagine that everything you write, you're giving them a visual or an emotion of what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
So if you don't do the description properly and set it up the way you want them to read it, then it doesn't come across the way you want them to read it at all.
I know.
You know, my daughter, when she was in high school, that's back when the Snapchat thing was new and everything was, you know, these kids who are texting, they're not English majors. So when they text, it's the worst possible form of writing, and it's very easy to take something the wrong way.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know what I mean? She comes out crying and talking about what her friend was saying, and I said, give me the phone, give me the phone, give me the phone. So I read the thread, and I didn't see it like she saw it. I mean, she's devastated. And I'm like, what if, I don't think this is what they meant, babe. I think they're just saying, yeah, you don't understand. And she's just going off. Mm-hmm. And I was looking at my wife, who's a teacher, and I'm like, oh my God, y'all need to have a class on how to properly text.
I know.
The right way. These kids are doing everything by hyphenated abbreviations, and if you don't know the meaning of the word, then you're an idiot. It's so coded up, it's not even correctly taken when you read it at all.
Yeah.
You know? So anyway, hearing you talk like that, I 100% got the visual on everything you were saying.
Well,
I was invested.
Good.
I was invested, dude. I was invested. So look, so before we go, and we're definitely going to do this again. We're going to chat on the side before we do the podcast and talk about some things in the book, maybe a point or two you kind of want to, like, some those little hooks, kind of like the hook of a song that kind of gets you going.
Yeah, man.
You know, I'm sure there's another hook or two that's in there that we'll just kind of bring up later. But before we go, years ago, it's really a shame to say this, but as of today, our best time frame with our beloved New Orleans Saints was when we won the championship many moons ago.
Yeah.
But Kirk and I were at Light Pro. I'm pretty sure it was Lypro over there in Florida.
Yep.
And we were like the only 2 or 3 people from New Orleans. Everybody else was from the rest of the country. And it was after Katrina. They were finally back in the Dome, and we were playing the Atlanta Falcons.
Yep.
And you look at me, because we flew together, we roomed together. No, we didn't room together.
Mm-mm.
We didn't room together.
No.
Because you were like, you want to come to my room? I'm going to make a gumbo.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you brought stuff for gumbo? He goes, yeah. And my famous potato salad. I'm like, no, you didn't. And I'm thinking, this is like the biggest thing ever. I'm telling everybody, like, y'all got to come to the room later. 1, you got to just have the gumbo. But 2, our Saints are playing the Falcons, and they're finally back in the Dome.
Yep.
I mean, we told, 100 people?
Yeah.
How many people actually came to
I don't
the
know.
room?
It was. I don't know. It seemed like 2 or 3, 6. Yeah, something like that.
It wasn't many at all. And they were in love with the gumbo. They were in love with the whole concoction. Of course, they were milking you because you were a speaker. Well, I was actually teaching too, but still, some people were just for the photography part of being in the room. You and I are watching the game, and from the beginning of the game, with Green Day and U2.
Yep.
Oh my God, that game became our Super Bowl.
It was phenomenal.
Like, what just happened?
Yeah.
What are we watching? And lo and behold, that is a memory that is immortalized, but sadly not shared with hundreds.
I know.
But it's definitely, I tell the story over and over again with people, and I'm like, this is a shame, but you literally had to be there.
Oh, yeah.
You had to be in the room, man. So if I were to write about that thing we just talked about, this event in the hotel room, you can write about the same thing, and this is what I love about writing. You would get most likely a different perspective depending on who you're reading.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I love that. That's what I love about writing, because if you don't do a good job, you don't get the output the same.
Yeah.
So you're a more seasoned writer than I am. So if I wrote about the book, it may seem like the Cliff Note version compared to you writing good enough to, you walking through that entire process, the nerves that we had as you're cooking the food, the smell of it, and how you walk into the room, and all this stuff. So I applaud your efforts on the writing, kind sir.
Thank you, man.
Seriously. So to end the podcast, can you tell our amazing listeners your potato salad recipe? If you remember what you did, I remember what you did.
I'll give you 2 recipes. Okay, two famous recipes. I mean, the potato salad is retardedly simple. It's potatoes.
There's one thing you do, though. There's one thing you do that no one else does.
Well, it's just potatoes, eggs, boiled eggs, salt and pepper, and mayonnaise. That's it.
What's the one you did with me with the bacon?
Oh, I forgot about the bacon. Yeah, we do that. We do that every now and then. I mean, come on. You can look at me and tell I ain't missing too many meals here. I try not to do the bacon anymore. But yeah, there's that. But the second recipe I'll give you is the margarita recipe that everybody. I mean, it's phenomenal. It's fascinating to me how many people call me up and go, "Hey, what's that margarita recipe?" Okay, it's 1 part tequila, your favorite tequila. It's 1 part Grand Marnier or triple sec if you're on a budget, and 1 part Rose's sweetened lime juice. That's it. 1 part, mixed together over ice. Done.
Nice. I am totally gonna go grab that across the street for this weekend now.
Okay, there we go.
But listen, for those who are thinking about the potato salad, imagine he cooked off some bacon. So I know this is going to sound crazy as hell, but come on, we all watch Food Network and go, what are they doing? And it's amazing. From the bacon grease, that part mixes in with the rest of the ingredients. And of course, you don't know it's there until you read it, obviously. Yeah. But it is wow, yummy. Can we say yummy?
Okay, I'm 60. I'm 63 now. GK. I can't be eating all that grease and stuff.
No more grease for us. But for those wild and crazy 22-year-olds out there, not married yet, trying to do dumb dude stuff. This is the recipe you want to do on a Friday night after drinking.
That's funny.
As a kid. Well, listen, we are definitely going to do this again. We'll even figure out the calendar date when we hang up. But one, thank you for being here. Two, everybody go check out his social media stuff. He's a fantastic photographer to begin with, and the fact that he's taking this part of him, which I have been there so many times in these kinds of scenarios with the seminars and the airport traveling and the kind of jobs with the VIP pass. I get it. And there's a bazillion photographers out there right now. And if you guys are going to any of these kinds of conventions or seminars, this book will hit you harder than ever, because so many things it'll just click. Like, oh God, that can so be true. So very cool. But thank you for being here, Kirk. You know I love you, buddy.
Thanks for having me, buddy. I appreciate it.
Oh, not a problem. Listen, everybody, thank you for being here on The Visual Historian. A lot more to share. It's not just about photography. It's about the world of being an artist and how we push through this crazy thing called life. And we share stories with our clients, or in your case, the listener. So thanks for being here. Peace.